Everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Senior Talking Walks, and I am Bill. We're going to try something new. We've done our guitar series. We've done several videos on senior topics. I thought I would just do one now to just talk to you guys a little bit, a little talk show format, if you will, talking about our favorite concerts that we have ever gone to as seniors. Now, that doesn't mean a concert that you've gone to as a senior. I'm talking about a concert that you started to go to. What was your very first concert that you went to? What year was it? When did it happen, and who did you see? And what stories can you tell around that? I want to hear your comments, and I'm going to tell you mine as well. And I'm going to pick up my guitar every once in a while over here, and I'm going to play just a quick little one or so little notes from each song that I remember of these concerts. So here's your homework assignment. I want you also to remember your very first concert you ever went to. What lasting memory did it give you? What surrounded that? Who did you go with? What were the big songs that you listened to? And if you're like me, which I know most of you are, because we love music, we're music people, we're music seniors, we really remember what went around. It has stuck in your mind, because I know it has mine. All right, so let's give this a try. My first concert I ever went to was actually in 1966. Lived in Houston, Texas, couldn't drive, of course. 66, I was only, let's see, I was 8 years old. No, I was 10 years old. I was 10 years old in 1966. And so I couldn't drive. My sister was 2 years older than I was, so my parents took us. They took us in Houston, Texas, took us to the Houston Coliseum. And it was an event called, of all things, the Go Texas Hootenanny Show. And the feature performer was Mr. Roy Orbison. Roy Orbison himself. Hit after hit after hit. Only the Lonely, Crying, Running Scared, and this one. Here we go. The great Roy Orbison. The first few words give it away. Pretty woman walking down the street. Pretty woman, the kind I'd like to meet. Pretty woman. Great song, Roy Orbison. So the next concert for me happened a few years later. Actually, it was about 4 years later. I didn't go to a lot of concerts like maybe a lot of y'all did, but it was in 1970. And boy, what a genre change from Roy Orbison in 1966 to, in 1970, Led Zeppelin. That's right. My favorite of all times rock band, 1977. They happened to be playing at the University of Houston called the Huffines Pavilion. It was an arena type thing at the University of Houston. And once again, in 1970, I wasn't driving yet. And so my aunt, who was my favorite aunt, because she took my cousin and I everywhere, where a lot of places my mom wouldn't. So she took us to this concert with Led Zeppelin. And this was back 1970, if you remember, off the second album. Led 2 was like Whole Lotta Love, and Dazed and Confused, and Heartbreaker, and White Summer. I mean, just on and on and on. And maybe you might remember this one. All right, what's this one? Late 1960s, the best rock band of all time, Led Zeppelin. There's a lady who's sure all the glitters and gold, and she's buying a stairway to heaven. What a great song. I'd love to just keep going on that. Maybe we'll pick up that one time as a lesson, but what a great song. Y'all remember it well. So then a couple of years goes by. It's 1972. Still living in Houston, Texas. I'm a senior in high school at that point. Had a girlfriend who I loved very much. I knew we were going to get married soon, which we did in 1974. And we went to see the Letterman, the best trio harmony ever. Songs like Put Your Head on My Shoulder, Traces, Turn Around, Look at Me. Just incredible songs. And you may remember this one. All right, how about this one? Slow it way down. This is the date night. This is when you take your girlfriend or your wife out to see either the Vogues or the Letterman. But this is the Letterman. What's this one? There is someone walking behind you. Turn around, look at me. And there is someone. How about that one, huh? What a great song that was. Remember that? From the 1970s on into the 80s, I guess. The Letterman. So this next concert I went to was a little bit strange because I was on a flight, a Southwest Airline flight, from Dallas to Houston, and this gentleman was sitting next to me, an Hispanic fellow, really nice guy, had a cowboy hat on, and we started talking, and come to find out, he was actually one of the first country Hispanics. And his name was Johnny Rodriguez. And he had some really big hits in the 80s and the 90s. I remember one of his big hits was Riding My Thumb to Mexico. Remember that one? And this one is one of my favorites called That's the Way Love Goes. My favorite Johnny Rodriguez song of all time. I've been throwing horseshoes over my left shoulder. I've spent most of my life searching for that four-leaf clover. Great song, Johnny Rodriguez. So I'm bouncing around in the years here a little bit, but in 1974, living in Houston, this singer, who was an actor as well, good-looking guy, you might have heard him, he was in all the papers, his name is Elvis Presley, came to Houston, to the Houston Astrodome, and to perform at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, which if any of you who happen to come through Texas and get a chance to see the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, huge event every year, and they always have huge, big musical acts. Elvis Presley was there, and oh my gosh, I'll never forget, he was on a car waving at the crowd, driving around the sidewall, all the way around the Houston Astrodome. And I have a picture, I wish I could find it. If I could find it, I would have it right here on the screen for you. But it's a little blurry because I was running. I was running down the aisleway to get a picture of him as he was coming around. So, and like I said earlier, I know you guys have a lot of your own personal memories of these concerts that you went to. What happened at them, maybe the people that you met. I was actually, in 1974, this was right before we got married, and we wanted to go see Elvis Presley. So what a superstar he was. That was 1974 though, so remember he was kind of getting kind of chubby and kind of getting there toward the end a little bit. So, but I know some of you might have seen Elvis as well. Here he is, the king of all time, Elvis Presley, named this tune. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. How about that? How about that? I'm going to teach you all these songs. Just keep checking out my channel. A lot of these are already on there, but we'll just keep going. Elvis Presley. So let me jump all the way up just real quick to 2014. Living in Dallas, and we had heard about the George Strait. I hadn't had an opportunity to see George Strait yet in person, and I really always wanted to do that. And he had his big tour, Cowboys Ride Away or Riding Away. It was actually supposed to be his last tour. I think he had actually a couple more after that. But he had Alan Jackson, and oh my gosh, he had a playbill that was absolutely incredible. And it was probably to this day, almost, I put it right up there in the top 3 of the best concerts that I've ever seen. I mean, we're talking George Strait here, Mr. Mega Hit. You know, so many top name songs, and so things like "I Cross My Heart," "The Fireman," and maybe you remember this one. Amarillo by morning, da 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 da, da 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 da, da 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 da. The greatest of all time. He's the GOAT, George Strait. And at that same concert, as I mentioned, was Alan Jackson. And he was my second favorite country music star. I loved Alan Jackson, and we're talking hits like Chasing That Midnight Rainbow, Chattahoochee, Don't Rock the Jukebox. I mean, these are big mega hits by Alan Jackson, and he performed them all, he and George Strait both. Just one of the best concerts I've ever gone to. Fast forward a couple of years to 2017 in Dallas, Texas. Jimmy Buffett was going to be here. That's right, the Jimmy Buffett. We're talking Changes in Latitudes and Changes in Attitudes, Cheeseburger in Paradise. And maybe you remember this one. Nibbling on sponge cake, watching the sun bake. All of his tourists are covered in oil. It was a great one. Jimmy Buffett. Jimmy Buffett's a lot of fun to see. Hopefully you got a chance to see him, God rest his soul, but what a great performer he was. And then, guess who opened for Jimmy Buffett at that concert? This was in Dallas, Texas in 2017 at the Toyota Center, if you know where that is. A three-piece band called ZZ Top. Wow, they stole the show, ladies and gentlemen. They're from Houston, Texas. I'd never got to see them live, but I always loved what they did. For three people, absolutely amazing the sounds that they made with those three people. Other than somebody maybe like Cream or maybe Jimi Hendrix, but three people making that kind of music is absolutely incredible. So yeah, if you never got a chance to see them, even though they've changed personnel a little bit, they put on one heck of a show. What's this one? You know I'm around town to town. Ha, ha, ha. You know what I'm talking about. You get the point. Here's one I didn't mention before, but it's a great song by the Turtles. Took my whole family to see this, and gosh, it was in the 80s sometime, maybe the early 90s. Six Flags Over Texas here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Everybody was standing on their chair, dancing and clapping to this song. Imagine me and you, I do. I think about you day and night. It's only right to think about the girl you love and hold so tight. So happy together. Great song. So let me back up a couple of years to 2015. I got to see Merle Haggard. This is kind of the end of his era there because he passed away in 2016. So in 2015, I was doing good to hear him, but I have to say it was not a very good concert. My favorite all-time song of Merle Haggard is If We Make It Through December. And I waited and I waited and I thought, come on, and they never played it. Isn't that a bummer when you go to a concert and you have one favorite song that you want them to play and they don't play it? But you remembered things like Branded Man or Okie from Muskogee, The Fighting Side of Me. I mean, Merle Haggard was just absolutely awesome. And here's the great Merle Haggard. If we make it through December, everything's gonna be alright, I know. It's the coldest time of winter. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. The great Merle Haggard. So let's see, that was 2015. Also in 2015, my wife and I we traveled down to Austin from Dallas, and we saw the Association. I never got to see the Association live. I mean, the Association, Cherish, Never My Love, Along Comes Mary. Just some great, great stuff. Got to meet them backstage, and it was really, really a lot of fun. So you remember this song, right? Here's one by the Association, one of my favorite bands. Just the first few notes of this, you'll know what this is. Ah, who said it? Okay, I see you want it out there. Here we go. You wonder if this heart of mine will lose its desire for you. Never mind, never mind. What a great song. I can't sing that real high part. That's a high part, but you know the song I'm talking about. So moving back a few years from there, in 2009, had the great opportunity to see Brooks and Dunn. Man, what a show that these guys put on. Brooks and Dunn. I mean, we're talking Neon Moon and Maria. I mean, they sold, what'd they sell? What did it show? 30 million albums and had more than 20 single #1 hits for Brooks and Dunn. And lastly, even though it wasn't my last concert, I'm moving the years around, I got to see Neil Diamond. And we had so many friends that they all went to see Neil Diamond. Probably was in town a couple of different times, 2 or 3 times. Finally got to see him in 1984 at Reunion Arena in Dallas, Texas, where the Mavericks used to play. I mean, we're talking Cherry Cherry, we got Kentucky Woman, and Solitary, and this song. All right, I said the king earlier of Elvis, but you know, a little bit after that, who was really the king? It was Neil Diamond. Where it began, I can't begin to knowing, but then I know it's growing strong. Da 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 da. What a great song that was, by the awesome Neil Diamond. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There's my little concert listing. Not very many over my period. Like I said, I really wasn't a big concert goer, but I was able to make those, and every one of those had a special memory for me. Who I was with, what led up to it. I could probably even remember the perfume that my fiance, my girlfriend, wore when we were dating, and I just loved to be around her. I used to call it, I love to take her out and show her off. Some of y'all may know what I'm talking about. But we would go to those concerts. So you see on mine, it's quite a mixture between, there's country, there's some rock and roll, there's some pop, people like the Letterman, the Association, back some 60s bands. It's all over the place. So make sure, please, drop me a line down in the comments. I love to see your comments. I want to know what concerts you guys have been to in your past, and what the latest one even was, and what you remember about them. What really stood out about each one of them that you remember. Let me know. Make sure you drop me a line. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. I really do appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one.